Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Time to take you around the world of sport as we look at under 17. The Golden Eaglets will be fighting here to see how they can qualify. Well, right now they will be going to the competition that will be coming up in Algeria. But right now the camp is open, declared open. That will be coming on Monday. But 48 players have been invited by their coach, Coach Ugbade. Ugbade invites 48 Golden Eaglets to camp. And that's the story we'll be looking at first with Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Yeah, good evening, Adeni. It's my pleasure to be back to the studio. I think this is where we need to start and get it right when it comes to football in Nigeria. That's the truth from the Golden Eaglets. If you look at all our best time in terms of the Super Eagles or the Green Eagles, is because of the players, Fatai Atere, Christopher Ohe, Kanu Wanko, Wilson Oruma. We got all these players at their youthful age, and they transform into Flying Eagles, Olympic, and
Super
Eagles. So we saw them playing for almost 10, 15 years. So that is a succession planning that we need to really adopt if we want to get it right in terms of football in this country. Not that you should not bring in experience, and that's why in the Olympic they will ask you to bring about 2 or 3 overage players to join the Olympic team who should be below 23 years old in football. If you don't do this, sincerely, we're not going to get it right. So concentration should be given to this Golden Eaglet. We've won it 5 times. Well, what have you achieved from the senior teams apart from this under 17? Then another thing that we need to do is to tell ourselves the truth. If they're asking for under 17, we should truly present players that they are within that age bracket. Not for us to go and bring someone like you because the way you are looking at it under 17 or 20, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Adeni, you should go in there and play the ball." And by the time you play, they look at the strength your players and say,
this one is really under.
Because there was a time that the FIFA looked at it that no, under 17, for them to be using hand to throw ball for throwing, it would be too stressful for them, too tedious. Let them be using the leg for throwing, and that was when Nigeria was almost all our throwing was going inside the net. They have to cancel it. So we have to tell ourselves the truth. Look for under 17.
They are really under
17. In the morning we spoke about the inter-house sport competition that we used to have in those days. Those days we have people from NFA, as it were called then, before they transformed to NFF. I still don't know the reason why. In fact, the NFF itself will achieve a lot under their NFF than NFF. We'll leave that for another story. We have then coming to each state when they are playing. I remember vividly when we play on final of the Principal's Cup in Ogun State, where I schooled. We have about 4 officials from NFA that came to watch the match.
To scout players.
If then I was even thinking that probably because I was the captain of my school. Then I was like, oh, probably I'm going to be picked. But at the end of the day, they did not pick anybody. And we're talking about the 2 people that played the final of the Principal's Cup. So the issue of the corruption, sentiment, or whatever has been for a very long time. However, they'll still pick 1 or 2 players from some institution. Probably those that know someone that will say, oh, my kids can do this. So what we are saying here is this under 17, we can still revive our football in this country by giving attention to them. That's the truth. This same team, most of them, they played the African...
the WAFU B.
The WAFU B.
They won it.
Which they won. And they won it when? That was last year. As at the time they went for the competition, how old were they?
So they need to strike out those who are actually over age,
or those that are close to that age, because the competition now after this they
are going to Algeria.
They are going to Algeria. Then after the Algeria, they're still going to Peru in November for the World Cup. So we have to look at all this so that we don't find ourselves to be blamed. We have a lot of young kids outside there that they can really do it very well. The Onduka Ugbade, he has won it before.
So the experience is there.
And we've seen what he has been doing also. So I think concentration should be given to these young boys because they're our future. They're the future of football in Nigeria. Look at Europe now. all the players we are talking about, Haaland,
Mbappe,
Bellingham, how old are they? They are 20, 22, 23, 24 years old. So it's not late for us also to start right now and looking into all these issues. So I think federal government should give serious attention to this under 17. And when they are doing the selection, yes, they invited 48 players, a very good one. But I would have preferred a situation whereby we're going to have an open camp for these boys. What stops us from having an open camp? Open camp in the sense that we have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Let's open camp in each of the 6 geopolitical zones and give like, okay, we're going to do a month. We'll do screening. You have people that you station in all those 6 geopolitical zones to pick players, and you now bring all of them back to Abuja. So that means we need to start the preparation earlier than now. So if you have started the preparation around October last year, a month for each of the zones to come with their own best players, then you now bring all of them to Abuja. From there you now pick. That's how you pick the best. I'm still waiting for that day when a player will come on air and says, I don't know anybody. I went to open camp without boots.
And they picked me.
And I made it. I'm waiting for that testimony from a player in our Super Eagles or any of our national team today. So
without godfatherism issue, right?
Is that what?
Without the issue of godfather.
That has been the culture of our country. In all the sphere of this country, it's all about godfatherism. Do you need to know someone before you get something, before you do something? So that really needs to be looked into.
Well, we've been talking about the under 17, the one they call Golden Eaglets. They will be going to Algeria to fight for the African under 17 championship that will be coming up there. But right now, they are the king of the West African side. And hopefully, Ugbade has actually picked 48. And let's see how the team will be pruned down later on. But let's see how that team can actually excel over there in Algeria. Wishing them the best as they actually resume camping. Now from there, let's quickly look at activities in the world of football again. But this time around, we go to the Latin country, and that is Italy. Let's look at Coppa Italia. A good one for Atalanta. Ademola Lookman really seems to be having a lot of goals in his boot right now. Let's look at the Coppa Italia result as it went down just yesterday. 5-2 in favor of Atalanta. Remember last time they actually won 8-2, and that caused the sack of the coach of Salernitana before he was recalled. And now they also scored 5-2 in this game against Spezia. Well, Ademola Lookman doing so well, scoring a brace there. Lazio 1-0 against Bologna, and how Juventus beating Monza 2-1.
Yeah, and a good result yesterday, and nothing shocking from those that won their match. We all expected Atlanta to win, Lazio to win, and the old ladies also.
But the way Atlanta are scoring goals now, it's not, I think it's not Italy.
Yes, it is Italy, and I think the Salernitana, they are not really a team that is like they are the whipping
boys
team,
of
team or
Serie A.
the boys of Serie A. Last season, they escaped relegation just by goal difference. And this time around also, I think they really need to sit up, or else they will go back to where they come from. But we shouldn't take it away from Ademola Lookman. Currently, right now, he has scored 9 goals in Serie A. Second, behind our own Victor Osimhen. So it's something that we are happy about. We have 2 Nigerians doing very well in Italy. The highest goal scorer, Victor Osimhen, 12 goals. Then followed by Ademola Lookman, 9 goals. Before we have Martinez of Inter Milan with 9 goals also. So that shows that we have people that are doing very well outside there. That's why we are saying that if you have those that are doing very well internationally, they can be invited to come. But that doesn't mean it should be something they will take on the platter of gold. Let them still come and compete with the local players that we have at home. So a very good one for Ademola Lookman. And I think what has been helping him now is because the coach have changed his pattern of play. Ademola Lookman normally played from the wings before, but now he's playing more from the center forward. And
that has been favoring him.
Yes, so that has been really favoring him. And that's when you have a good coach. If you have a good coach, it can bring out the best in you. He has seen that, Ademola Lookman is a fantastic, prolific striker. A striker can be a winger or a forward. You can play from either the wing. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He plays more from the wing. Though there was a season in Real Madrid that he played center forward, he still delivered. So that's how you know how a coach can really impact positively in
a player.
Not like our own Gennett Roy, that he can convert an attacker to defender, a defender to even a keeper if he likes.
But Gennett Roy is gone now.
Oh, sorry.
Pizarro.
No, it started from Gennett Roy.
I know.
It started from Gennett Roy.
Okay.
No, so what is the difference between Gennett Roy and Pizarro?
One is from Portugal.
in fact, most Nigerians were praying that Gennett Roy should even come back as against what we have right now. And that's the issue of the predecessor always better than successor that we have.
But something actually strikes me. I look at maybe, I don't know, along the line, let's see what, because a lot of people are clamoring for, okay, indigenous coach, that we should have at least one person that can do it. After all, it's happening in Morocco, Senegal, Cameroon, and all that. Why can't we just get one in Nigeria to coach Super Eagles?
Okay, one of the reasons why it will be difficult, not that we don't have, we are impatient in this country. We always want that success like day before yesterday.
We are Chelsea.
Sorry?
We are Chelsea.
Yeah, it's better to be a Chelsea fan that you have a vision and focus than an Arsenal fan that for a decade you've not won anything, or Manchester United that for over 10 years you've not won anything, and the fact that you won a match or two matches, you started shouting as you've arrived. So it's better to be ambitious.
Nigeria,
just like
Nigeria is like Chelsea doesn't have patience.
So Chelsea, they don't have, what they want is results. And that is what Abramovich brought to the table.
But Nigeria's case?
In Nigeria's case, no, we don't have that patience. So they are Chelsea.
That's why I'm liking Nigeria to Chelsea.
And that's why I'm also saying that it's better to be a Chelsea fan in Nigerian context when it comes to success and glory than Arsenal or Manchester United. I don't know if you get the point.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you agree with me or not.
What an arrow. Arsenal fans out there, I'm sure.
I mentioned Manchester United also, not only Arsenal
no,
fans.
it's just a way to, so that Arsenal fans will not think you are attacking them.
No. I'm not attacking anybody. Please, point of correction. I don't want someone to wait for me outside the studio. I'm just saying the reality here that Nigerians were impatient when it comes to success and glory. Look at Sisi of Senegal. It took him how many years before he took the Senegalese team to where they are right now? So it's something that if you have left the likes of Iguavon and co for 2, 3, 4 years, there should be a team in transition. So it shouldn't be that, okay, we appoint a coach today and we look at our old glory. Just like the Manchester United, you look at the old glory of Alex Ferguson, that they are still the same Manchester United. No. We have to learn how to differentiate and face the reality that you have right now. Or the Chelsea of Abramovich era with Todd Boehly. No, they are two different things. So you shouldn't look at what Super Eagles have achieved in the past and thinking that if they appoint a local coach today, they will start. No. 3 years, 4 years. But let's be seeing the progress. To start with, do we have a team in this country? We don't have a team. Do we have a style and pattern of play in this country? We do not have. So that is where we need to start from. If you don't have a team, you don't have a style and pattern of play, how do you want to win a competition? Both grass? Or what? Kick and follow? Or what? So that is what we are saying here. So we need a local coach, but we need to be patient in this country to give all the support that the local coach would need to excel. And also the federal government, they should give them the responsibility with authority. But that is the major problem we have in this country. They will give you responsibility, but they don't give you the authority. And when the blame comes or the failure comes, you'll be held responsible. Because you can't go outside there and say that, but Oga, you told me to do this, but you didn't allow me to execute this. So they have to take it and keep quiet. So that is why if you see a very good coach, by the time you see the body language of the board, they look at, no, this board is like, it's just like Todd told Thomas Tuchel that should be using 3-4-4. It's like, you don't even know what the formation of a football is like, and you want to tell me how to run it. So definitely I can leave. So that's what I think we need to do in this country. We need to be patient. They need to give them the responsibility and the authority, and let's see what happens within 3 and 4 years.
Well, hopefully we'll get it right. At least I would invite attention there from Atalanta story. We actually had to creep into Nigerian story. We need to get it right when it comes to football or sports development in this country right now. Let's talk about matches slated for this evening. A lot of matches will be coming up over there in La Liga. Don't forget the Bundesliga is back, and also French Cup there. Quickly, let's look at those fixtures. You have Mallorca against Celta Vigo, Friday fixtures in La Liga, Bundesliga, and French Cup. Mallorca, Celta Vigo, Bayern Munich versus Leipzig. Bundesliga is back. And in French Cup, Marcel Reims. And attention will be on that match.
Marcel Reims, Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Mallorca, and Celta Vigo. They are going to be an interesting match, because if you look at where Mallorca is currently now on the table, they're like on 10th position. So they have to look at, okay, we are mid-table performer. We need to really consolidate. How can we consolidate? We need to win or at least get a draw. This is not a match for us to draw. Then Celta Vigo, if you look at them, their relegation battle. So they have to try as much as possible, at least get a point to make sure that they are not going back to relegation. The same thing we're going to see Bayern Munich. Let's see that things have been working out for them before, but right now things are not really working out for Bayern Munich like it used before. And Leipzig, we all know how good and fantastic they are. They are playing at home, and they are playing with one of the best teams in the world and the best in Bundesliga. So it's going to be a very tough match.
Marcel Reims?
Yeah, Marcel Reims also will be a semi-derby, but I see Marcel winning because their performance before we went on World Cup break has been very fantastic. However, I hope they will pick from where they stop. I think the last 5 matches they won 30, they drew 1, they lost 1. So let's see, they're going to pick from there also. It will be a very good start for them also to win the match.
Now, I look at Bayern versus Leipzig as a match that, even though it's not a derby, but lately Leipzig have really shown class against Dortmund, against Bayern, against Stuttgart or Wolfsburg of this world. But really, they are really done well for themselves. Yeah, they've done well for themselves. That's why they have been playing in Europe for the past 4-5 years, and they've been making statements. And they've had a lot of players also that came out from their club to other clubs. So they really announced themselves. They are not a pushover. That's the truth. In fact, the pressure will be more on Bayern Munich than Leipzig. If Bayern Munich should win the match, nobody will be so surprised that, oh, they won. But if they win at home also, which they've done before, I think about 2 or 3 seasons ago, they won Bayern Munich also. So I think it is something that is still very, very possible. And that is what we are talking about in football. Nobody should be written off. Nobody should be, okay, don't worry, it's not Leipzig I'm playing, don't worry, 2-0, 3-0. No. Bayern Munich will go there with all their arsenal to fire from all cylinders to make sure that that 3 point is very crucial and very important for them. It is season of Chelsea really buying players, but right now they've actually agreed deal with PSV for Noni Madueke, £29 million. Chelsea really splashing the cash. Yeah, unfortunately, Chelsea have signed more players than the number of matches they've won this season. They've signed. This is their 13th player they've signed, and they've won only 8 matches. So it's like their priority this season is to buy, not to even win. That's nothing but the truth. They've spent on £460 million on transfer. With the signing of Madueke right now, they've made it £190 million. They spent only in January, and this is their 6th signing. So, and we said earlier that the Chelsea fans, they are the impatient one. Well, this time around, they have 2 choices. Excuse me. It's either they are patient or they look for another club. Because if you look at what they are doing right now, they are building and buying for the future. If you look at all the players that they've bought, if you look at the average age of all their players is 23 years old. And most of them are signing 4 years, 6 years, even 8 years. So that means they are buying for the future. They are planning for the future. In the next 2, 3, 4 years right now, in the next 1, 2 years, I don't see Chelsea buying players because they have more than enough right now. So what they need to do now is how to make use of all these players that they've bought. And I really pity Graham Potter, because selection will be a very difficult thing for him to do. When you have about 6 strikers, you have about 12 defenders, and you bought all this with a big amount of money, and they have to come and deliver. So take it or leave it. Chelsea is currently 10th on the table. It will take them maybe
Harry Potter miracle for them to qualify and play in Europe, not Champions League, Europe.
Not okay. You are talking about other Conference League or Europa League?
Okay, let me simplify it. Thursday football.
Conference League.
Conference League. It will take a miracle for them to really do that, because when you bring in, look at Nottingham Forest. When they came to Premier League, they bought over 20 players. So to blend the players to play together as a team, it took them a lot, and they are still struggling up to now. So you can't just bring players from left, right, and center and you expect them to perform. Yes, they've spent very well. However, this is not their season. Take it or leave it. They should forget Europe this season. They should be looking at the future, what will happen. And most of the players that they are signing, let's say the truth, they are the future of Europe. Most of them are young players. So what they are doing now, probably they are trying to copy what Real Madrid did in the era of Galacticos then, when they noticed that this player is good, it can be a threat to them in the future, they'll pick him up. Even if for him to be on the bench or to be playing 5 or 10 minutes, that is what they did that time, and it helped them. So maybe that is what they are doing also. I don't know, because if you look at all the youngsters that they've bought right now, they are promising. They have a future. Another question: does Graham Potter has the experience to take them to the promised land? Does he have the experience to bring all these players together? It's another discussion for another day.
Let's see what Chelsea will be doing, because right now they are really buying so many players. Let's see, maybe in future this player will actually evolve to bring a lot of trophy, or at least winning for Chelsea there. Quickly, let's talk about 2 more stories. Fulham to splash £4 million on George Maja of Bordeaux. George Maja actually has scored 11 goals so far this season over there in the second tier of League, that's League 2 now. And the other one says Brighton rejects Chelsea bid of £55 million for Ecuador midfielder Moises Caicedo. Well, from the way it is, Brighton rejects this one. They are not selling.
If you are in their shoe, what will you do?
One of their best players.
Apart from one of their best players, yes, the Brighton, they have one of the best scouts in the Premier League. So that's why this season they've sold about 4 fantastic players. So now it's like you want to run them dry. What would they have
ground them?
And ground them, because they're just picking from them.
You brought their coach?
You brought their coach. Even their major scout manager, Chelsea have already picked him up also. So he's the one looking for all these younger players that is buying and bringing to Chelsea. You took Cucurella from them. So what again do you want to? I mean, you want to leave them?
You want to go for Caicedo?
You want to go for Caicedo? Not that they won't allow him to go, but you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. Anybody that want to sell player to Chelsea, Chelsea have to cover about 70, 80 or 90, because they know they have the money and they don't know what to do with the money than to be buying players left, right, and center. So I'm not blaming them for 2 reasons. If Chelsea want to take their best player right now, they have to pay for it. That's number 1. Then number 2, they have to look at their own future, so that they will not go like the likes of Leicester City that sold almost all their key players when they won the Premier League 2013, 2014. And look at them right now. They are struggling since then up to now.
Well, a good one there. George Maja, also from Bordeaux, will be at least smiling to the bank if Fulham will get that deal done. From the way it is, £4 million will be the amount they'll be going for George Maja. That'll be it on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Well, we've been with Olale Peters. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and it's my pleasure being here, Adeni. Thanks for having me.
Good one there. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.